In just his 5th season as an ACL pro, Mark Richards is already the all-time winningest player in league history. And here in Myrtle Beach, in the season's first major championship of 2026, the former PE teacher is now taking everyone to school again. This is the American Cornhole League.
He's going to push this. He's going to try to push this off the board.
And he does! What a shot by Jamie Graham!
The and one! Get off my board!
For the win. It's all! It's back! It's over!
Now Mark Richards has to hit an air mill.
Hits it on the backside.
It's going to be two to win it for Smith and Richards. The greatest team that the sport has ever seen. Watch this again.
We welcome you inside the Myrtle Beach Sports Center complex here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on the beautiful shores of the state of South Carolina, where over 200 of the very best professional cornhole players in the country have gathered here for the first major of the season. And we've gone from over 200 of the top pro singles players all the way down to the Final Four. And with that, we welcome you into the broadcast alongside the professor, Anthony Allen. I'm Jeff McCarriger. All right, down to our Final Four. Some new storylines this year, some old storylines. Let's just start with the most obvious. Mark Richards. I mean, can anyone slow down this freight train again? Or, I mean, is this just here we go again for 2026?
Yeah, the best shot at slowing down that freight train is going to come out of the other semifinals match between Soto and Jacob Trzinski. I'm going to favor Jacob Trzinski in this one, and don't get me wrong, Soto in my top 10, one of the most consistent players in the game right now, but when you get a red-hot Jacob Trzinski, he's one of the toughest players to beat in the building, and let me tell you, this boy is red-hot. Coming in with the highest PPR in the tournament on the day, just shy of an 11, and going through one of the toughest brackets in the pro division, going through players like Hodette, Kano, JBJ. He went through Ethan Walker, who started out the tournament beating his opponent 79-0, and then takes down the three-time world singles champ in Jamie Graham.
What a run. It's been a heck of a weekend here in Myrtle Beach. A lot to talk about, but let's get right to our first matchup. And right away, again, here is the champ. All-time winningest player in ACL history, again, just in his 5th season. Mark Richards, we'll see him on the court right away. There you see his record at 6-0, PPR just under 11, DPR 0.64, and Mark Richards in this first matchup. Hey, how about this? Welcome back, Ryan Windsor.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, an OG. We almost lost Ryan Windsor. Ryan Windsor was about to retire, a last-minute change, comes back to the pro division, and here he is, working his way through the brackets of the first signature and finding himself in the Final Four.
And we've got a lot to tell you about the journeys of both of these players to get to the championship round. Here's we go along. The biggest story is Ryan Windsor lost his first game of the day, and here he is. What a battle. All right, we are underway here from Myrtle Beach. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Here on ESPN Plus and across our social networks as well here in the ACL. There's Mark Richards on the left. Again, when we talk about number 1 on the ACL all-time wins list, he has 32 career titles. He won 10 last year. He's won 3 already this season. And already, not just 32 wins, but a 10-time major champion as well, Anthony. So, I mean, he's done it at a high level. He's not just, collecting a bunch of open wins.
Yeah, when you look to just year over year, Mark Richards has to be at the top of the list in consistency. Now, getting most of his wins through the Open Series, he's well-traveled, does really well at those Opens, but you can't take anything away from him when you get to those World Championships and those signatures. He just does well in both formats.
Meanwhile, on the flip side there on the left in the purple and black jersey, that is Ryan Windsor. The product of Cuba, Illinois, 7th year as a pro. And for Ryan, I mean, you just kind of alluded to it. We thought that maybe we were going to lose Ryan Windsor in the sport, thought maybe he'd retire. His last win, you have to go all the way back to the 2022-2023 season. And actually, I think if I'm right on this, it was the 4th Open that he won a singles title. So really, it goes all the way back to 22. So it had been a while. Kind of slumped in his game, but great to see him back. And again, a terrific run today. Both bags in play there on the edge. There's Mark, the lefty, out of Valparaiso, Indiana. That bag going to come back. Wow, that bag just sticks there on the side.
Yeah, I like the smart play by Mark Richards out of the gate. A lot of players tempted by chasing that bag out to the left, and you end up giving up more points. Actually, in bracket play, I saw Jamie Graham all day shooting open board air mills to drag that and giving up 5. Hey, out of the gate, we don't need to get too crazy. He gave his 10. Let me give you 2. I'm going to move on to the next round.
Well, speaking of getting aggressive and maybe getting aggressive early and falling behind early, what a different dynamic. You know, the first 2 days that we were on the air, Trey and I doing the high school championships, doing the college championships, and Anthony, of course, everything was round limited. And now we are first one to 21. We were wondering if we were even going to get qualifying done in time for the broadcast tonight. Long, long battles today.
Yeah, buckle up, especially when you have Mark Richards. Very methodical. Some of the longest games we've seen have been with Mark Richards. We had that, 52-round battle between Mark Richards and Cass Chamness last year.
Yeah, there's been some epic battles. Slides that one right down the middle. 3-2 lead early here for Mark Richards.
Yeah, you started talking about Ryan Windsor's path to get here, man. It is actually pretty nutty when you break it down. Loses his first match. When you lose your first match, you know your path to take down a bracket is long. It's a 13-match bracket when you lose out of the gate, and that's exactly what Ryan Windsor did. Lost his first match and then went on a 12-0 run to end up double-dipping that bracket.
That's an insane run.
And when you break it down into actual rounds and pitches, he's thrown almost 1,000 bags today to get here. Mark Richards, half of that.
Final bag of the round here for Mark. And it is down the middle. Yeah, just that crazy run by Windsor, like you said, having to win 12 straight. It ended by him double dipping Peyton Mister, who made a great run. You know, we've seen Peyton's name a lot of time in bracket play, and a really good player, but made a terrific run all the way to the king seat, then knocked off by Ryan. But you know, it's not like Windsor just went through, you know, some names that we're not familiar with. I mean, he beat Tony Smith, beat Derek Holland, Ryan Schrader, Tanner Halbert, Caitlin Allshouse. I mean, he had to go through some of the top players.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot that season. We have to keep in mind with the new format this season, we take the top 100 into the pro brackets. That leaves 156 spots, right? Well, some are going to get by, so you have over 100 spots. A lot of those spots, 20 spots, are going to be given to juniors, and we know how stacked that junior division is.
Yeah.
So when you drop 20 juniors into that pro bracket, who individually are pro caliber players, we're going to see players just like Mr. probably make their way to king seat matches.
Guys are locked in. Third straight double four-bagger.
3 straight double four-baggers. You can hear Trey Ryder, our master of ceremonies tonight here for the Pro Singles Final Four. Mark Richards still with a 1-point lead. Some scoring early, but now quiet the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, we could see a lot of those double four-baggers. Both players absolutely killing it in bracket play, in the stats. Ryan Windsor, #1 in DPR, #2 in PPR in his bracket. And then Mark Richards, #2 and #3, respectively, in his bracket.
So interesting, Ryan Windsor with that unique pitch, right? And even though we haven't seen him a lot over the last year, pretty much looks the same. Same style, kind of finishes up on his tiptoes.
Yeah, one of the only players I've seen finish on his tiptoes, and that has been his thing since I started the game. I mean, I'll go back to 2018. I was watching videos. Oh, we got an air or a cut attempt.
Oh my gosh, Anthony. He's able to get that 2-bag collect working around Windsor's bag in front.
I don't think we know how difficult. I have to put this in perspective. That is a deep, what we call level 1. So Windsor actually sitting in the hole. The ability to go around that and collect at the same time is precision. I mean, you're talking speed and spot precision.
What perfect touch.
It's Mark Richards doing Mark Richards things. But yeah, I was saying, you know, I was watching Ryan Windsor back in 2018. I was learning my game from watching Windsor. And I mean, he was, I don't know, young. He's much younger, maybe upper teens, lower 20s.
Well, you could see Ryan Windsor after he missed that first bag just shaking his head right away. I mean, you just can't have unforced errors against a guy like Mark Richards.
Another bit of a mistake, and we've seen Richards. He got around a bag that was easier or more difficult to get around than this. The question is, does Windsor shoot the airmail for the drag? That would be a very aggressive play right now.
That bag on the right side did move a little bit after Mark's bag, but yeah, he gets aggressive, tries to go after it, drag it, and the bag in his hand goes off the back. And just like that, from a 3-2 game, now an 8-point lead for Mark Richards.
Yeah, the upside to that, you hit the airmail, you get the drag, you give up 2. So that's what he was chasing. Instead, when you miss, you give up 5. That's the risk versus reward you're dealing with.
Yeah, and it's ironic because you were just talking about that. You saw Jamie Graham do that, right? Get aggressive.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
Sometimes gave up 5-point rounds.
And you know what? It drives me crazy every time, but I get it because watching him play multiple games today, his airmail had to be 90+%. So if you're looking at that risk versus reward and you're throwing in, I'm going to hit that 90% of the time,
right,
it's hard to shy away from that.
Oh, again, same shot. That's twice now this match he's done that.
What he's able to do, we call that a lift. He's able to backload it and side load it. What happens is it doesn't really roll or tumble on its edges, just lifts the right side of his bag and works his way over the blocker that way.
See Mark kind of gather himself there for a second. Steps out, fires that last bag. And now Ryan Windsor trying to go down the middle and can't do it. All right, here it is again, Anthony. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, so if it's coming at your screen, you're seeing the bottom of the bag and it's sitting on its left edge, and that's the reaction you get. You get this kind of left to right with a lift on the right side.
Just perfectly executed.
Yeah, those little mistakes like you were saying by Windsor, you can't do those against a Mark Richards. Think
Yeah.
about the airmail. He had the one bag kind of long and right, and then that miss on bag 4.
Yep.
That's 7 points right there, Jeff.
Side-by-side action here. I had a great conversation with Jacob Trzinski earlier today about how you attack side-by-side. And now, obviously, a lot of it depends on how the bags are aligned. But if they're just in front, he said he just oftentimes, Anthony, just tries to attack the middle. And he said if the bags, if he's been using the bags, feels comfortable with them, just lets the bags, attack the middle, let the bags do the work and fall in.
I agree 100%. A roll bag would be the by the book, but Windsor not much of a roller. He's going to come slick side and try and clean this up. You can't hate it too much. He did what we call a bully or bar of soap. So he took Mark Richards' bag with him. So nothing really hurt there.
See if Mark can be crafty here, and thought maybe try and pluck that bag from alongside the AR bag and get them both in. Oh, nice shot there by Windsor, sails it in.
Ryan Windsor, that's a wash.
Yeah, so that tells me that Windsor's going to be favoring his airmail today. Here's that airmail coming out in bag 4. Most pros will throw a little cut roll bag right there. And I imagine that's how Windsor got this deep, by his airmail, so he's going to stick with that.
We used to kind of joke Ryan Windsor, 3-sport athlete, right? Professional poker player, professional video gamer, and professional cornhole player. But You know, he told me last year that he was thinking about giving up a lot of that other stuff so he could concentrate on cornhole. And sure enough, that's what he did. So he's not playing poker or video games anymore, working as a full-time teacher and trying to play as much cornhole as he can. And a wash for that round. Now 10-2 as we go into round 11. There's Mike Hennessy, owner of Lucky Bags Cornhole. Had a good talk with him. Obviously proud sponsor of Mark Richards and Tony Smith, among others. Miranda Coy, saw her in the stands. Lori Dool.
You know, Jeff, on one hand, you could say, hey, we're a bit surprised that Ryan Windsor made his way here to the Final Four. But if we go back to open number 3, is when we were really all surprised for the first time. Ryan Windsor made his way all the way to the final, going through Jamie Graham, Fabianar. He went through Cash Chamness twice and Jake Gore and ended up running into Jacob Trzinski in that final. But it was at that moment in Richmond when we were like, oh my gosh, Ryan Windsor's still a relevant player in this game right now.
Still got it. All the way to the Final Four. And again, you think about these major events, right? This is our first of 6 signatures, so a major title on the line. And to be able to go through this gauntlet, definitely is back.
That's 2 drag bag airmail attempts by Ryan Windsor, and it cost him both times 5 points.
All right, 15-2. Mark Richards with the 13-point lead, round 12. We've got a media timeout. We are back with the second half of this matchup here from Myrtle Beach right after this. Well, if you've been following us all weekend, you've seen some of these great drone shots of inside the Sports Center complex here in Myrtle Beach. Terrific facility. Well over, 125, 150 boards or more. A lot of qualifying. We have the college championships, high school championships. Man, those high school players are good. And now the pros have taken center stage here today. Singles all day today, doubles tomorrow. And again, down to our Final Four here in the singles competition. This is our first semifinal. Mark Richards on the right against Ryan Windsor. And it's all Mark Richards early, 15-2. And Anthony, as you were saying, Ryan's taken a couple of aggressive wrists on an airmail, missed them both so far. So he's getting up to 5 spots. So really 2 big rounds. He's lost a lot of those points.
Okay, there's that roll bag, showing he's got that roll bag a little bit deep on it. Mark Richards kind of out to the right a little bit on his first block, and here's where Ryan Windsor really needed to take advantage. He's in a bad spot now. That hole's closing in on him. That's where you want to come in a little bit hot, what we call a clip. He had an opportunity to kind of clip that front bag, and that's just going to jam everything up. Not much you can do here. That's on for the wash at 4s.
Yeah, Windsor's just going to go in behind the stack. Take the wash. It will stay a 13-point lead for Mark Richards.
So yeah, usually we talk about the roll bag being an offensive shot, but there's a case, Mark Richards using it as defense and essentially covering the hole. He knew that wasn't going to fit in the hole, but he covered it to prevent any airmails or any opportunity to score from Windsor. That deep level 1 is how Windsor's going to get back into this game. Down 15-2, he's looking to manufacture some points, kind of pulling the string on it, leaving the bag front of the hole.
Mark just replaces it. Replaces again. Leaves it side by side. A little double clutch there by Ryan. We'll see what he does. Yeah, I don't know what the chances would have been of trying to sneak around that, but takes them all in.
Ryan Windsor, one of my favorite players of all time. I can go back maybe to, gosh, it might have been 2020. But I was sitting right behind the boards in this same situation. At the time, I was a pro, but I'm out of the tournament, so I go into the stands and watched him take down a singles championship going against his own partner at the time.
Was it Isidro back then?
Yeah, exactly, back in the day.
Isidro Herrera.
Tempting, Jeff. The new shot called the bar of soap, and when you're down 15-2, you see the little step? I think he's going to go for it. Oh, he almost
pulled it off. Shaking his head. He just can't get a break right now.
The key to that one is obviously the speed, but your line's so important, right? You got to hit right behind that bag. Now, the old 4th bag block, Jeff. Airmail, definitely for Windsor.
See if he gets a couple of points, just a little bit short to clip Mark's bag and pull it in.
That's so unfortunate. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to drag that front bag like that. See the step? Remember how we were talking about him coming up on his tippy toes? In this case, he changed his approach. He actually stepped into that to get a little bit more speed. Needed just a little bit more juice to kick it to the back.
Boy, and you can just see the frustration on his face. He just can't catch a break here in this match. And that, of course, is a recipe for disaster against the guy on the left. Well, again, for Windsor, looking for his first win since 2022. This also, and they're still, obviously I don't want to count him out yet, but this would be his first major championship since 2021. He's actually a 3-time major winner. Boy, a lot of bags to look at right now. Mark trying to see if he can get something to go, but trampoline's off the pile.
On for 3 for Windsor, a much-needed 3. Nothing drops.
All right, 15-5. I mean, you're a former ACL pro. Does that make you feel better?
If I'm standing next to Mark Richards, I know I got a lot more work to do. But, hey, you get lead bag, and we know how important lead bag is. And in this case, we were talking about huge comebacks. Look for him to lay that level 1 block again. And there it is, a little bit left on his mark. Because he's a lefty, Richards is a lefty, it kind of gets in his lane a little bit, but in that case, that's been bullied out of the way. But good pickup. He's going cross board, Jeff. He had to reach out across the left side of the board, pitching from the right. That's a tough bag.
Oh, and the block causes Windsor's bag to leak out to the right.
He's tempted again by the drag. You just got to give up 2 here.
Boy, there's barely anything in the hole. Yeah, he's just going to go straight down the middle. And now, ooh, Mark fires that one off the back, so look out. Ryan Windsor down 15-2, now 4 straight.
That's a bit of a gimme. You're not going to get that out of Mark Richards very often. He shot a 10.77 in bracket play, and there's that tough collect going cross-board by Windsor.
Well, what have we seen now in the last couple of years with media timeouts? I mean, crazy things happen right after the media timeout sometimes.
It's actually a little eerie how consistently that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, Mark Richards really with the easiest path. He was undefeated through bracket play and had a bye in the first round, something new with the pro division this year.
Oh,
there are 16, I believe it's 16 spots held for buys.
Windsor has got to take advantage of these chances down the middle. Richards' last bag banks it off his own bag. So a couple of more points for Ryan Windsor, chipping away a 6-0 run here for Windsor.
Yeah, just looking at the chat a little bit, and actually a good bit of information, if it's accurate, but the chat saying Windsor was throwing white bags all day. So with Mark Richards having the higher seed, he gets to pick bag color. He was throwing white in bracket play, so that forces Windsor to go to a different color bag. And we know how important bags are. So here's Windsor coming into the Final Four, having to switch bags. The speed's going to be a little bit different. How it feels in your hand is going to be a little bit different.
Right.
So he's working with changing conditions where Mark Richards has a comfortable bag in his hand.
Again, Mark, just terrific touch, just replaces it. Leaves a bag in front. As Ryan speeds off to the left and barely hangs on.
There's a tough collect, full box step out coming in with the outside arm, and he's left, Jeff.
After a 6-0 run, a devastating blow there. Mark is calling a timeout. I went over and talked with Michael Gonzalez, our official, about something.
I think he's doing some math. I believe that's a 9-4. Is that on? That could be on to win. There's a pile. I can't see everything, but there it is, on to win, Jeff.
So sure enough, this one quickly comes to an end. Ryan Windsor down 15-2. Rattles off 6 straight, but then Mark Richards takes advantage of a couple of misses, and he will advance into the championship round. We'll take a timeout, back with our second semifinal here from Myrtle Beach right after this.
Here's a pistachio, peppercorn flavor. Here's a cashew, Parmesan flavor. Living together in flavor harmony. To all the nuts, and to all the flavors.
Nice. Man, Miller's Ale House really has everything we need. Good food, good beer, plus every sport on TV.
Every sport.
Every single sport you can imagine.
Whoa! Now we're talking. Ladies.
They're right. All the sports and great food at Miller's Ale House, where the fans go.
This is Brotherhood Cornhole, where quality meets community. Born from grit built in America. Every pro-grade bag, board, and piece of apparel is crafted with pride, durability, and precision. built for consistency, to dominate the boards, and always feel the best. Brotherhood Cornhole stands for players who show up with purpose. From backyard throwdowns to ACL tournaments, united by respect, loyalty, and that grind to be better. Gear up with Brotherhood Cornhole and join the movement.
Back here in Myrtle Beach alongside the professor Anthony Ione, I'm Jeff McCarriger. Our thanks to Corey Russell, our producer and director, here all weekend long from Myrtle Beach. Well, Mark Richards got a little bit of a scare from Ryan Windsor for a moment. Windsor was able to go on a 6-0 run and make it 15-8, but then Mark was able to clean it up there at the end. So Mark into the championship round, and our second semifinal looks like this. Jacob Trzinski against Sammy Soto. What are you seeing on it, JT, so far?
Yeah, we talked about it in the opener. Look at that 10.94. And that was over, I think it was 180-something rounds. And what's crazy about this stat is the caliber of players he had to go through to maintain that. You know, one of the best dirty players in the game in Colin Hodette, JBJ, Ethan Walker. To maintain a 10.94 against those types of players is absolutely insane.
And for Sammy Soto on the other side, you can see 6-0.
Yeah, one less game. He got that bye in the first round, which could be a huge factor this season with the new format. He didn't really have a tough game until game 3, so you can almost say Jacob Trzinski's a bit more battle-tested. Hey, let's see if that comes into factor here.
All right, our second semifinal here in the first major championship of the year, signature number 1 here in Myrtle Beach. Jacob Trzinski there on the left in the gray and white jersey. Sammy Soto, just 18 years old from Texas, on the right there in the gray and black jersey. Looks like Sammy will have the honors, and we're underway here in our second semifinal. Sammy Soto, again, just 18 years old from Texas, 6 career titles already. But tonight would be his first major singles title.
Yeah, I talked about the consistency of Sammy Soto this year. He's had a couple of opens, 3 opens this year where he finished either in the championship match or in the loser's final. He's just so consistent. Every time he shows up, he is deep in brackets. Now, we should mention the very last event that Sammy Soto was in. This is actually pretty interesting when you break it down. In Richmond, he made it all the way to the King's seat. And who did he run into? Jacob Trzinski. When was the last time Sammy Soto was skunked? It was against Jacob Trzinski, 22-0.
When you told me that, I was shocked.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Sammy Soto comes up out of the loser's bracket, so we got another matchup there, right? He loses that one 21-2. So if you take the 2 games, 43-2 in these boys' last head-to-head matchups.
So obviously Sammy Soto maybe with some revenge on his mind here, and out to a 3-0 lead early. Jacob Trzinski there on the right, 23 years old from Massachusetts, 5th-year ACL pro, 7 career titles, and he's a 3-time major doubles champion.
Jacob Trzinski in better position to score here. Let's see what Soto does with that front block, and he hangs up on the right. This is actually a chance to get 4. Tough decision for Soto. The airmail is there, a roll you could just push through and clean up, a back block.
Bounces on top of the pile. Big shot for JT. Able to get 1 to fall. So 4-point round for JT. He'll take the lead here early, 4-3.
Yeah, typically you'd see JT punch his hand because he missed the push off the right side. But it almost bunched. You kind of see how it almost got clogged.
Right.
Then you're like, okay. I'll take that extra 2. I'm good there. Let's keep an eye on that case of the lefts. That's 3 bags out to the left for Sammy Soto. Typically that's looking at your bag. Maybe it's just playing a little bit slower than it typically does out in the main field, which would be different. We typically see, no, actually that aligns. We typically see those types of conditions here.
Clean round so far.
Just want to note that Sammy Soto just changed his pace up a little bit. And in bracket play, we actually saw that when Jamie Graham played Jacob Trzinski in the final. There was a point in the game where Jamie Graham took the full shot clock to shoot. He wanted to change up the pace. We know Trzinski is a rhythm thrower, and I'm kind of seeing that a little bit from Soto. Let's keep an eye on that and see if he's using more and more of the clock to slow JT down.
Jacob Trzinski, ACL Breakout Player of the Year 2 years ago. Such a fiery personality. Great athlete back in high school. Played football and baseball. No surprise at all with his mentality. He's a tough kid.
Out to the right, we'll see Sammy probably roll on this one, but he's going to be looking to clean up at some point.
All right, that bag on top.
Not happy with it. Sammy Soto's very kind of straight face, but inside I know he's very upset about that shot, and JT kind of gives him back. I wouldn't hate Sammy Soto cleaning up now just because you got a pile of laundry to deal with, but he's good at roll collecting.
Oh, just missed it. A little bit too deep. That time he hits it.
The step out slick side is available. You got bumpers on the right and left. That would be a tough shot, but he's going to stay middle.
Goes over the bags and in. All right, so the way those are sitting right now, I mean, would you go for a bar of soap with them side by side like that?
No, not at this point in the game, but actually for me went back to his second shot. And here's a replay on that last bag. That was an interesting shot selection for me for Sammy Soto. I've kind of like him to push everything up a little bit early. He also had, you know, kind of that slick side push on the right side. Staying airmail, you're talking about a guy, of course he has a great airmail, but he has so many other shots. I was actually shocked to see him go to the airmail so early.
I mean, because that looked like it was setting up. I mean, that bag was sitting right on top of JT's. I thought maybe he would go for it, but I don't even think he thought about a bar of soap.
Yeah, I don't think this early in the game 4-3, but if you're down 14-3, yeah, I see you shooting that. A little short on his mark. He's going to want to be a little bit deeper. He definitely wanted the replace or clean push. A couple missed airmail from Trzinski. I tell you what, I watched a lot of his games today. I was able to follow him quite a bit. He was not missing airmail often.
One in, but stays on the board with the other.
Gets a little bit of help there as Sammy just puts one in.
4-4.
Ties it up at 4. Oh, just rims out.
Soto just a little bit off from what we see, and typically, definitely from today. I mean, he was cooking up all day.
Just two contrasting styles, right? You got JT is just such a fiery player, ton of energy, and for Sammy, the game just looks so easy, doesn't it?
He does make it look easy, and you don't get much reactions out of him, good or bad.
Yeah, right.
He's pretty straight-faced.
Yeah, I mean, that's his demeanor right there the whole way through.
He is continuing to throw this kind of blocker bag. I mean, I would definitely not say Soto's running bags. Could be the speed, maybe he's dealing with. You know, there's certain strategies coming into the game, and maybe Soto came into this one saying, you know what, I don't want to run bags with Jacob Trzinski. Remember that PPR we looked at, that 10.94?
Yeah.
You do not want to run bags with a 10.94. And Sammy Soto's so good at playing off of a block. Maybe he's thinking that's the best strategy for me to win this one.
Soto with a 2-point lead. Ooh, wow, level 2 block. Level 2 plus there. JT, nice shot to get around it.
See what I'm saying? Just a little bit off for Sammy Soto. I mean, this is a guy that could run 40 bags in a row or 10 straight rolls in a row. It's just a little bit off, but definitely going to push through here with bumpers right and left. And short on the push. You see him shake his head. The speed's just a little bit slow for him. Something's going on with speed.
Oh, he's got an opportunity here.
If I'm Sammy, I'm gonna slam this one in there because everything's just coming up short.
Yeah, he put some more pace on that. He does get 2 to drop. And Trzinski trying to grab the corner and turn it, see if he can get 2, but it's going to end up being a wash.
We say 6-4 Soto.
So still a 2-point lead here for Sammy Soto. Again, our second semifinal. If you're just tuning in, Mark Richards won the first over Ryan Windsor fairly easily after Ryan made an incredible run. Windsor had won 12 straight coming into this Final Four tonight.
The consistent block by Sammy Soto, and here's a chance for it to pay off, and he finally has enough speed cleaning up. He's in position to get 2.
Stays down the middle. Ooh, that one just drops for Trzinski. That one slaps the board and bounces in. And Trzinski with the follow, but yeah, 2 more points for Sammy Soto, make it 8-4. Well, we've been talking about the players' runs to this championship. And for Sammy Soto, I mean, he beat the likes of Zach Aiken, Jordan Power, Alex Rawls, Adam Hissner, Chris Kingsbury. I mean, it wasn't an easy path for him either.
Both of these boys have felt what it's like to finish as a top 10 player. Sammy Soto in his 3rd year was the top. He was number 6 last season in singles. And if we look for JT, it was 2 years ago he finished 5th. Kind of this weird 48th place last year,
yeah,
which none of us understood. I actually had him in my top 10. But yeah, a 5th place finish for JT a couple years ago. He's in his 5th year.
Oh, had a chance to maybe get 2 back, but that one hops over the hole. And this one for the wash. Stays a 4-point game.
10-10.
Look at that frustration look on JT's face. That's a layup for him. You have help on the right. Sammy Soto laid a bag right on the right for you. That makes the hole much bigger. I mean, you got the bank, you turn that 6-inch hole in probably 10 inches. So for him, that is literally a layup.
Clean board here early on. Trzinski's second bag tumbles in.
Yeah, I agree with Chris Cole in the chat. I mean, I just feel like the boards are playing a little bit stickier than they were planning on coming into this.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that the last 2 nights. It was last night for the college guys as well.
And what you're looking for is that when those boards are a little bit sticky, that too, you get right to left movement. These boys, when you're out on the main field and everything's playing a little bit faster, you get straighter lines. When you see bags piling up left for right-handed players, you typically have slower speeds.
I feel like Trzinski might have rushed that one a little bit too. Don't you think? I mean, he fired that one quickly.
For sure.
Stays 8-4, could have been 8-6. As we move on to round number 11.
There it is, that consistent level 1. I have to ask myself, is that the board speed doing that?
Right.
Or is he purposely laying these level 1s? And I'm thinking he's purposely doing it. I mean, these guys can adjust to speeds. I think he's taking advantage of the slower speeds and just laying that level 1 on JT.
Last bags of the round. Oh, Soto a little short right. Trzinski, quick trigger again that time, but takes advantage. So he'll get a couple of points. I mean, this could easily be 8-8. 2-point lead, though, for Sammy. A couple comments about Jacob Trzinski and his strength back in the day. He's like your son. He's about a buck, what, 45, buck 50? Benches over 300 pounds.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Dude's a stud. I do not know how many cornhole boards that would be for that question in the chat. Uh-oh, that one misses off to the left.
Yeah, we were talking about bag changes. JT was throwing a set of blue bags all through bracket play when he was cooking up with that almost 11 PPR. So
That's
JT
right.
also dealing with a bag change here. And that could go to Sammy Soto being the higher seed, choosing black, which forces him into something kind of not black. And they were a bluish bag, so sometimes blues and blacks can get confusing.
So Sammy tacks on a couple of more to take a 4-point lead. First to 21 in all of our signature events this year at the pro level. Round limited just in the college and the high schools this weekend. I believe teams are still going to be round limited this year. Everything else first to 21.
Beautiful lift for JT. We might get a back block here. That'll eliminate the 2-for-1. He's going to try and roll it instead. And a stack is a nice defensive play. That's putting a 1-pound bag right on top of both. But slick side coming. He's going to try and clean up, Jeff. Just too much weight. He hit a rock, basically. Kicked him out to the right. So that stack condition working well for JT.
And flicks that one in. So Trzinski now will get a couple back and makes it a 2-point game again. Trzinski, you mentioned earlier, big battle against Jamie Graham. And he also had to play against Ethan Walker. Ethan Walker was just all over the place today.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. Ethan Walker, first 3 matches, 21-0 his opponents. Then he goes into a match against JG, Jamie Graham, goes up 11-0. When you add up all 3.5 of those matches, 79-0. That is a record start to a pro tournament. No one's ever gone on a 79-0 point run like that.
Sammy Soto, last bag, keeps it a 2-point game. Yeah, Ethan Walker just absolutely red hot to start the day. 79-0, and then what was it, 91 or 92-4?
Yes.
After the first, what, 4 matches or
4
so?
4 matches, 93-4.
He was just rolling. But then it just shows you the competition. It only lasts so long, right? I mean, it just only lasts so long.
There it is. The consistent level 1, man. He is just laying that thing. And there's that lift again from JT. If you notice, he's not actually rolling. It's just, you see the logo the whole time. He's just kind of lifting that left side. There's room. There is room, Jeff, for a slick side push. He's staying stick.
Oh, able to get them both to drop.
That thing was downhill the whole way. He put some juice on it.
Trzinski able to stay skinny. This for the wash. It just drops in.
10 wash will stay at 10-8. Sammy Soto.
10-8. Here's that shot again you were talking about. Just hammers them both in.
Yeah, we're typically seeing a lot of players go to the slick side of that bag just because they can throw it with the same energy, the same speed. In this case, Soto had to kind of bump up that miles per hour, probably add 8 or 9 miles an hour just to overcome that slower side of the bag.
Yeah, Trzinski off to the left. Opportunity early here for Soto.
And it's always left. If we had a little heat map showing where bags were finishing, it'd be red on the left side of the board. Most of the misses being left, that points to slower speeds.
Good looking bag there by Sammy. Just see the bag flight and the spin on his bags. Oh, he's such a poised player. It's still hard for me to believe he's only, what, like 18 years old when I watch him play. Just so poised.
Those 2 points will take us to the meeting.
That'll be 2 more, so Sammy Soto back to a 4-point lead, and we've got a timeout here from Myrtle Beach. Soto 12, Trzinski 8, our second semifinal, and back with the conclusion of this one right after this. It is our first major event of the season. Signature number 1 of 6 as we start off 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. Alongside Anthony Ione, I'm Jeff McCarriger. Our thanks to Corey Russell, Trey Ryder, our MC tonight. Jake Brandon over here just kind of chilling. Man, he was on the air for what? He and me for like, what, 6 or 7 hours today doing all the qualifying. We got the easy part today. Now our roles will flip tomorrow. Tomorrow, you and I will have the grind in doubles, being here all day for the qualifying. All right, a good one here. Sammy Soto and Jacob Trzinski. Sammy with a 4-point lead. For those of you just tuning in, Mark Richards did win the first semifinal, knocking off Ryan Windsor. Ryan, a terrific run today. Lost his first match of the day. You talk about a tough road to go through. Lost his first match of the day, then won 12 straight to get into the Final Four. And then, hey, congratulations on winning 12 in a row. And your prize is a first-round matchup in the Final Four against Mark Richards.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Ryan actually made a little run to make it 15-8, and then about 2 rounds later, Mark put it away. So again, the winner of this will take on Richards for the Pro Singles Championship here in our first major event of 2026.
Yeah, down 4, kind of in the middle part of this match for JT. Literally not concerned. He's giving up 2 here, so there's 6. I watched a match today between him and Colin Hodette. An absolute brutal match. It was back and forth. They had like 10 rounds in a row where nobody scored, but JT was down 20-14 in that one. So down 6 with no mistakes left, and he came back to win that and then went on an unbelievable run to make it here to the semifinals.
Round 18. Had a lot of just epic battles today, many of them going into the late 20s as far as rounds go. Sammy spins that one up and has the bag dangling on the edge. Should go in here, it does.
Everybody has their own kind of pre-pitch setup. With JT, you have to kind of watch it. I call it rocking the baby, but he gets that bag in both hands and he kind of sways it back and forth. He rocks the baby.
Yeah, everyone's got their little timing mechanism quirks, don't they?
Exactly.
Oh, Sammy might have given it back there. Ah, that's big. That had a chance to be. I mean, I'm thinking this is going to be 16-8. No problems whatsoever.
Ah, man. Just a lot of little weird mistakes from Sammy Soto. And I'm giving him a hard time because, again, he's in my top 10. He's my number 6 pick in the pro division because he's so consistent and good. And I think he would say the same thing. He was like, man, I'm just a little bit off. These kind of weird little fourth bag blocks or misses. And this is a perfect example. You just don't get that from Soto. His line is so good.
Rocking the baby. I love that. That's exactly what he's doing. By the way, just a little note for everybody out there who's chiming in on chat. Appreciate y'all for watching, seriously. During these broadcasts, we have to kind of limit the chat interaction a little bit. We'll do a lot more during the live streams, but for the person who said, hey, does anybody else watch action with a bag in their hand? Well, yeah, you and I each have a bag right here.
There we go.
So, yes.
Trzinski 2.
All right. So, again, it could have been 16-8 just moments ago.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, a 2-point round there for JT, so 14-10.
Yeah, Soto letting Jacob Trzinski stay in this game. He's definitely had some opportunities to make him pay for his mistakes and letting him off the hook. And a guy like Jacob Trzinski, if he can find it with these white bags, again, in bracket play, playing with a different set, the minute he finds his comfort zone, I mean, he's going to start, again, 11 PPR through bracket play.
Yeah.
Once he kicks that in, forget about it.
Oh, look at that V block by Sammy Soto, and the JT just goes right around it. Oh, again, good bag.
Now Soto's going to have to go get that. He laid the block. Now you go clean up with the slick side.
Oh, man. Boy, that was such a good block, too. What a round by Jacob Trzinski. And Sammy Soto with some work here to do in round 20. Oh, nice. Able to collect 2. Really trying to get that last bag to go, but it's just not going to go. So Trzinski continues his comeback.
That's actually crazy that happened to Soto. But look how consistent he was with this little lift. And notice, just the left side of the bag comes up. But that last bag for Soto, he's pushing 2 bags to the hole with a slick side sitting on the rim. How does that not fall for him?
Actually, I think, is that score right? Yeah, I guess it is. I was thinking that JT.
Yeah, Soto gave him that 2 on this side. He got another 2 coming
That's
this
right,
way
went from 8
because the
to
slick
10.
side,
That's
yeah.
Oh, the bag did fall. All right, one more from the chat. Wanting to know about Peyton Mister. And only because I just want to make sure we give a shout out to Peyton. Heck of a run today. I mean, made a great run all the way to the kicking seat and got double dipped by Ryan Windsor. Yes, I understand we missed the bag falling because I was looking at the chat. That's why we're not supposed to chat.
Let's see if Soto can figure this bag four out. Yes, he does. This one's turning into a bit of a marathon. What we look at is rounds and points. If you combine the points, 10 plus 14, 24 points. If those match your rounds, you are in for a marathon. So if this same level of play continues, we're going to be up around almost round 40 by the time we get to 21.
Spins a little left. Takes them all in. Boy, now I can't stop watching
the baby.
Jacob Trzinski.
He's rocking the baby.
I cannot see it now.
Feels like JT's kind of in a groove right now.
Yeah, he's getting there.
The line is good. The lift bag is good.
These guys stay locked in. Double four bagger watch.
All right, stays 14-10. It's 12-8 at the media timeout, so nothing crazy yet in this one. Sometimes we see some big swings after the media timeout. It's so interesting to watch the player. You and I kind of talked about this during the break. It's so interesting to watch how different players react to the media timeouts. There are some, they just hate it. I mean, just the last thing they want is a media timeout. Other players kind of embrace it, go walk around, grab a drink of water, relax for a minute, gather themselves mentally.
I think Devin Harbaugh likes the timeout. I've seen that guy come back after TV timeouts. The one that sticks to my mind, do you remember Devin Harbaugh versus Jake Gore in the semifinals? I think Devin Harbaugh was down big, but we went to a timeout, and then he went on a run, ended up winning that. Jake Gore hit an airmail drag bag to win it. Yes. Didn't drag it, lost it.
Just a nice, easy throw again by Sammy Soto. Maintains that 4-point lead.
Yeah, even with all the mistakes, I mean, if we look at the stats in this one, these boys throwing about mid-10s, 10.48 over these 23 rounds.
Well, again, Sammy Soto with his 4-point lead. Again, tonight would be his first major singles title. He's got some work left to do in this one, obviously, and then the winner of this one will face Mark Richards.
Yeah, he does have a major broadcast title. That was actually his path into the pro division. If we go out to back to USA Cornhole Juniors at Worlds, it was Sammy Soto that came out of the juniors event and won that, which was punching his ticket to the pro division. That's what got him here. So he has that experience with a big win on a broadcast.
Stays 14-10. So what are you doing right now if you're Mark Richards?
I'm probably throwing. I mean, if I were to look kind of over to one of these side boards, I would think Mark Richards is staying warm.
Yeah. How tough is that for you as a player? I mean, you played at a high level. You're an ACL pro. It's got to be tough, right, when you got a long layover in between games?
You know what? These guys are so used to it, honestly.
Yeah.
These guys are playing multiple tournaments a week, even back at home. And they're probably, especially in their local regional, they're making their way to the king seat all the time, which means they're probably waiting 2 hours to play a game or an hour to play a game, so they're probably pretty used to this stuff.
Yeah. Third bag for Sammy Soto. Maybe trying to catch that corner, Anthony. Maybe turn it a little bit to help himself out. Not going to be able to get that one back. And stays right down the middle. So Jacob Trzinski takes advantage. Couple of points, makes it 14-12.
Really, Trzinski just kind of slowly working his way back in. He's not trying anything crazy. That lift bag is working. He's running it pretty well. Here's interesting. This is a shorter block. Now, this is going to land right where Jacob Trzinski wants to roll. Doesn't matter. Moved his spot down a little bit, worked over a level 2-3 block. Nothing changed. Same shot. This is a tough push, Jeff. This would be like a train. But you come in slick. Now that bag off to the left. The right one's going to help bump. I think you let him push that. I say you don't back block, but he is. This is going to be an airmail all day. If you get aggressive, that would be that short airmail to kind of rodeo everything in.
Trying to go over the top and hits it clean. Woo. Clutch shot for Sammy Soto to mitigate the damage. And Jacob Trzinski now takes a 1-point lead. Here it is, hits it clean, but you can still see a rare show of emotion on the face of Sammy Soto as he's given up the lead.
Yeah, once down 14-8, going back to about round 18. Took him 9 rounds to take this lead back over. But what is that? That's a 7-0 run for JT to take back this lead. I don't hate that. That's going to make the collect a little bit more difficult. We got slick side in the hand. Soto coming through with speed to clean up. That's just mean. I'm just going to leave that right there.
Final bag of round number 27. And it is good. You know, we were all kind of talking today just because the level of play is so elevated right now, right? Just so elite that these matches now are getting to be real grinds. And you were thinking, I think you and I were kind of talking about this today walking around, the average, it almost seems like it's creeping into the 20s now. You thought when you were playing, the average was maybe around 18 or so, 16 or 18 rounds?
Yeah, it was something we were looking at back in the day. You know, we were about 18 rounds for a typical pro match. You know, that was 4 or 5 years ago. But those rounds continue to creep up because, you know, you get these head-to-head matches against elites, you know, Cash Chamness, Mark Richards, 52 rounds, Devin Harbaugh, like 53, 54 rounds. So that average level of play is definitely going up.
Zach Aiken has been in some marathons. Gabe Clausen. I mean, these guys, some long matches. And just watching qualifying today, there were many that, you know, people were betting on, is it going to go over 40?
Oh my goodness, not again. I didn't want to say it, I didn't want to jinx him, Jeff, but I was like, if you're Sammy Soto, you got to finish up one time, and there's another example of leaving points on the board. He's left quite a few bag 4 points on the board.
Getting down to it now, 15-14, round number 29. Here in our second semifinal, first major championship, signature number 1 of 6 this year here in the ACL. All 6 will be first to 21.
Head shake from Soto. You don't get much out of him typically body language-wise, but we got a head shake there. Something's definitely got him troubled. And it's going to point to that case of the lefts he's dealing with, that kind of short speed to the left.
Double four-bagger wash.
Well, we'll stay a 1-point game. And I love what you were saying, too. You know, a lot of that could be because of the board conditions as well. Slower it gets, a little bit sticky, kind of pulling the bag to the left, it seems like. So you're spot on with that. We've seen a lot of that. Yeah, it's interesting watching Jacob Trzinski. Look how it's almost like he just kind of shovels it. Right there, see how he just kind of pushes it? Man, good looking bag. He's been consistent with that get around.
Man,
with that right to left.
Yeah, that lift is working real nice for him.
Oh, and Sammy's off to the left now.
A little something different. We haven't seen JT go all the way out to the edge of that 3-foot box yet. Slick side, he's going to work that bump on the left. Little right on his mark, but he's fine cleaning up for Soto. He's like, let me go get 2 here.
Down the middle. So the run continues for Jacob Trzinski. Down 14-8 at one point.
Yeah, there it is. You saw AAR the whole time. It never tumbled to the carpet side, so you didn't truly get a roll. And that's one of the shots that really, I'd say Jeremiah Ellis really showcased for us his rookie season. And now that's one of the most popular shots right now. It's just, it carries further, and it's a little bit, it's more predictable than a roll. When things start rolling over the pile, you kind of get right to left movement, but that lift bag, it always stays true to the hole, true straight.
Three-point lead for Trzinski. Again, he was down 14-8. You see the PPR through these first 30 rounds. 10.5 for JT. What was his PPR for the day? 10-9?
10-9-4.
Yeah.
What's crazy is more crazy for me for Sammy Soto. Sammy Soto's going to tell you right now, I'm not throwing my good stuff, but he's still throwing a 10.4.
Good looking shot that time by Soto. Stays down 3 though. Hard to believe. Jacob Trzinski, it seems like I've been watching him for years now. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah.
What I'd give to be 23 again, Jeff.
I hear you, brother.
I've got him doubled, man. Jeez.
Don't even start with me on that.
Here's that step out again. Going to go stick this time. Jacob Trzinski will not throw the reverse cut. That's a shot that we don't typically see out of him. A lot of times in that case, as a righty going around the left side, you'll reverse cut. He hops it instead and attacks that front block. Okay, Sammy Soto, a chance to get 2 on bag 4.
And to snap a 9-0 run. That's exactly what he does. Does not even touch that AR bag.
16, Trzinski.
So now a 1-point game.
He was due for this, Jeff. How many times did he have that 4th bag to go get 2 and he ended up left? Not this time.
By the way, shout out to Jack. Following the flight of the bag.
By hand?
Yeah, with a handheld. That a kid, Jack. Nice shot, man. Seriously, good stuff. That was a great shot, really. Round 33.
And if you add up the points, it's 33. That is a marathon when your total points equal your rounds.
Soto bounces that one in. And Trzinski with the answer.
Double 4 bagger wash.
Stays a 1-point game. We're in our second semifinal. Again, the winner will advance to play Mark Richards.
And on the opposite side of those marathon matches, I was talking to Ethan Walker today. Again, the guy that skunked his first 3 opponents. He had a 4-round game today. That's crazy. What is that? Just, like 5, 5, 6, 5s and 6s, you're out of there.
Yes. Second bag for Soto, short left. There it was again. It's like the board just grabs it and pulls it this way. Wide open for Trzinski.
No more mistakes for Soto.
Trzinski has a chance to sit on 19. Last bag of the round. And he gets it, tumbles in the right side. A little sigh of relief maybe. Not the prettiest bag, but it works. And sure enough, Trzinski now 2 points away from getting into the finals. Round 35. Every once in a while you look down and it just catches your eye. Man, really? We knew we were in for it tonight, these matchups.
Every approach, Soto knows no mistakes. Your opponent has 19. Everything's got to be perfect. And something tells me JT is not going to give him an unforced error. He is kind of cooking up right now in the back half of this match.
Double 4 bagger wash. We stay 19, 16. Trzinski into round number 36.
Corey Russell, our director, producer. Is that confirmed, Corey? Sammy and Devin, longest game ever? You know, I remember Trey and I had a broadcast. What was it, 54? Okay. So I remember Trey and I at the Rock Hill Open. We had, what was it, Zach Aiken and Cash Chamness that went, 50 or 51 at the time was a record. And that was broken quickly, like 2 weeks later.
This is going to be an interesting shot. Remember, Sammy's been having trouble with the push bag. And actually, he replaced, but left his replace bag even shorter. It put him in a worse situation than the previous bag.
Third bag for Trzinski. Oh, and he nudges Sammy's bag.
Sammy had a slick side push off the board a little bit earlier in this match. You got to be perfect.
Well, he's got 2 bags left to try and grab it, and he does a great job right there. Gets it right back in play. Oh, huge bag for Sammy. Oh, can he get around it here, Anthony?
We're not going to get an air melt. That's too aggressive here. But we will get a roll attempt.
Oh, he missed it. You know, it seemed like he's okay with it.
Yeah, that's the conservative play to get 2 points out of that, and he's one of the best rollers in the game. Now, you don't want to actually accidentally bump Trzinski in and you stay on the board, so
right, yeah.
It's almost like he didn't fully commit to that roll, and that's what kicked him out to the left.
Round 37 here in our second semifinal. Again, Sammy just 18 years old, 6 career titles, looking for that first major singles title. Down 3 here late.
Oh boy. That lift bag working for Trzinski, and it works again. That's going to force a 4th bag cleanup.
Got to get him.
And you have to have enough speed. You can't come up short.
Fires his fourth bag, and he does hit the collect and stay alive.
We say 1916 Trzinski.
This could be the quietest I've ever heard a crowd in a three-point game, round 38.
Too many pros in the stands. These guys are not impressed by what these guys are doing.
They don't like 38, huh? In a three-point game.
They're like, we do this
Semifinal of a
every
major
morning for
championship.
breakfast. Such a good bag. That puts Sammy in a situation. Does he go now to push up? He's going now, Jeff. Slick side in the hand.
Nice and easy. Gets that one to go around and in. Trzinski off the mark.
There's the block finally paying off. Now if you got to finish up for Soto, put him on 18.
All right. Pretty much an open board here for final bags. And this one to make it a 1-point game. And he got it. Sammy Soto gets two back. 19-18.
Now a 1-point game. 19-18.
Round 39. Still nothing? No, still don't like it, huh? Still just oatmeal in the morning for breakfast?
Yeah.
I like it. If the crowd doesn't get it, I'm going to have to go back to chat. Chat's loving it. Well, JT obviously can afford one more miss, but that's it.
Helped him collect that just a little bit, but don't chase. Let Soto get a piece or clip on bag 4, and then you decide what to do here. Gives him nothing.
It's got to be in.
Do not hang up left side of that hole.
And he gets it a little bit right of center. It works. Sammy Soto, 20. Jacob Trzinski, 19. No more misses.
That's what makes these guys so good. JT was not aiming at the center of that hole. He pushed that shot line to stay right, because when you have a bag kind of hanging up on the left side, it just takes a little bit to slow your throw bag around, or slow your throw bag down to prevent it from going in the hole. That's a loss. This is where JT made the mistake last time. Step out on the block.
Side by side. Uh-oh, Sammy Soto off to the left. And Trzinski goes right in between them. Soto, again, a rare show of emotion. Was almost looking at it like, you know, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm still alive. And he's going to go take a look at it.
Let's remember, JT has one bag in the hole. It's Soto who's down in this round. So you can't necessarily back block or jam everything up into the hole. You're going to prevent yourself from putting a bag in the hole there. I kind of like rolling here. That's going to force JT to clean up. And because of the bags, the way the bags are laid out, there is a possibility of a 3-bag wedge. That's what would work out the best for Soto. He's successful on the roll. JT comes up to clean up for the win, and everything wedges.
Third bag here for Soto. Oh my gosh. And it flips over onto the backside. Jacob Trzinski His hangs up there on the edge. This one's not over yet.
That opened the door for Soto. He's looking for a push up the right side. Clean. You want to leave that white AAR sitting at the 7 o'clock and force JT to collect for the win.
Oh my gosh, and they plug. And Trzinski is on. That's all he had to do was set it for the win. What a marathon. 41 rounds here in our second semifinal. And Jacob Trzinski able to come from behind, knock off the youngster Sammy Soto, and advance to take on Mark Richards in the championship. We'll take a quick break. We'll have our senior singles championship coming up next. Matt Guy against Jeff Reynolds, and then we'll have the championship right after that. So still a lot more to come here from Myrtle Beach right after this.
Out here, there are no half measures. Doing it right is plan A and plan B. You need equipment that's up to the challenge. All day, all conditions, all year round.
Nice. Man, Miller's Ale House really has everything we need. Good food, good beer, plus every sport on TV.
Every sport.
Every single sport you can imagine.
Whoa! Now we're talking. Ladies.
They're right. All the sports and great food at Miller's Ale House, where the fans go.
Almonds like this, ranch flavored, cashews like that, buffalo flavor. This plus that is flavor harmony. To all the nuts, and to all the flavor.
And we're live at the beach, following one beacher leveling up in her hero's journey.
This is Bridget, paperback writer, finally with a moment of peace, and she is locked in on her beach read.
Looks like paper beats metal. Do I smell bookworm?
What a leap!
Dusty. I don't think she noticed.
Is that a mime?
I believe that's a Frenchman asking for directions.
Now that's how you beach with the best in Myrtle Beach. Stay beachy, everyone. Plan your best beach vacation at Visit.
All right, back here in Myrtle Beach inside the Sports Center complex. Our pro singles final is set from, 220, 230 players all the way down to our final two. It'll be Mark Richards and Jacob Trzinski for the pro singles championship. Before we get to that, we will switch over to the senior singles championship. Played earlier this weekend. Played all the way down to the final two. And there you see Matt Guy left standing alongside Jeff Reynolds. Both looking for their first, well, I guess you could say, can you say major singles title?
Yeah, if it was a thing, that would actually be.
Matt Guy did win. You were looking it up earlier. Matt Guy did win on the senior circuit earlier this year, though, in the Opens, right?
Yes, sir.
So Matt's been here before. Jeff Reynolds with the honors. And here we go. First one's in.
Yeah, the cool thing about this matchup is both of these boys OGs in the game. If you've been around watching this game for 10 years or so, you would recognize both players going back to the pro division. You know, at least Jeff Reynolds in its infancy. Of course, Matt Guy has been playing this game at the competitive level for well over 2 decades. Much respect for these guys who've paved the way for this game we all love.
When we were looking at senior championships today, of course, it made me miss the name Damon Dennis. 5 times singles world champion in singles, 7-time doubles world champion. On
Double
the senior
D,
side.
yeah, double D, man.
12 world
Legend.
championships on the senior side. Missed that guy.
And a lot of those times alongside his doubles partner, Philip Hayden, also an OG.
Yep.
Those guys went on a doubles seniors run that I felt like it went on for years. It was like, who in the heck's going to beat these guys in seniors doubles?
I remember the first time I ever called a matchup, going back years now, 6 years ago or so, and they're both wearing the work boots.
Yes.
Loved it. I absolutely loved it. Actually, it was Damon Dennis who years ago was the first one to ever tell me about Matt Guy. That goes back 6 or 7 years. We just got into a really great conversation about cornhole. He said, you know, one of these days, he said, I hope you have a chance to see Matt Guy. And now, of course, it was just before he moved over here full-time to the ACL. It's great. And here he is again, looking for a senior title now. So Matt Guy, for those of you new, watching by any chance here on ESPN Plus, Matt Guy, there on the right in the green and black jersey. 4th on the all-time wins list with 20. 11-time national winner is Matt Guy. Jeff Reynolds slides that last one in. He'll get a couple of points. Jeff Reynolds, terrific guy, and of course the owner of Reynolds Bags. Actually, scary moment. I was talking to Jeff today just about his game, and you know, he's like, I'm just happy to be on my feet and playing again. And for those of you who are watching maybe in the chat who know Jeff well, you've seen the footage. It was put on social media. Jeff told the ACL, hey, it's okay to put it on there. But so he had a big snowfall event back at his house. He was shoveling, came out his front door, slipped and fell on the front steps.
Oh, my.
Landed right on his back. Almost kind of looked like he hit his head. He kind of hit his neck. And he kept shoveling, but then when he went in later, he was in a lot of pain. And so he's been to the chiropractor, and he said, you know, I'm just happy to be out here. He said, you know, it hurts a little bit, but has not affected him, obviously. He's been able to, you know, play at this high level. But, man, if you look at the video, scary moment.
Yeah, I believe Matt Guy dealing with his own stuff, too. I've seen something about, like, stem cell injections in his neck. He's slated for a series of 10 injections. He just got started, so he's, you know, I guess that happens when you reach the senior division, Jeff. It's part of the game. You got to fight through all the pain and agony.
Part of life, yeah.
4, 3, 5.
Matt Guy with a 1-point lead.
But even at the younger age, it was Spencer Fabianar coming into this event taking a bad car accident. I was talking to him today. He was T-boned, hit right from the side. He
Spencer
said,
Fabianar was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He was like, you know what? I was actually okay coming into the event, nothing crazy. And then he said the pain started kicking up in bracket play today. He's like, I had no pain, then all of a sudden I had pain. It's like my leg's a mess.
Yeah, glad he's okay.
That's what Matt Guy does. That is what Matt Guy does. One of the best air mailers to ever play this game. I would say might take like a Jeff Reynolds got us
didn't hit
there,
anything.
Nothing moved.
Yeah, didn't hit anything. Matt Guy again going way up top, too strong. Oh, a little bit too short. Chunks one in for Matt Guy.
There's a 99.9% chance we get an airmail out of Matt Guy.
Up to the top of the light standards and in.
6-3.
So 6-3, Matt Guy with the lead.
I honestly didn't know if Matt Guy was ever going to play the senior division. I mean, he was on top of the game, period.
Yeah.
And to him, it was like, I probably won't even play the senior division. I'm glad that he did. You know, you're adding some more talent that's going to force the rest of the seniors division to improve their game. You put a guy like Matt Guy in there and, you know, iron sharpens iron. You know, it's only going to level up the rest of the field. Just looking at the chat there, Jeff, our boy Jay Rubin in the chat. That is world champ Jay Rubin. Man, I missed that guy. Can you believe the run he had coming off of retirement?
I know.
It was like, what are we going to get from Jay Rubin coming out of retirement? Haven't seen him in a year, and geez. Making runs through the singles division like he never stopped throwing bags.
Reynolds has one off. Gets that one down the middle. Yeah, I mean, there are just certain guys just so good at play at such a high level. I don't think it matters. I think you're – I know you disagree. I think you're in that level. I think if you wanted to, you could come back and compete. And Jay Rubin,
give me like 18 hours. How do these juniors do it? Is it 17 hours a day for a year?
I know. But Jay Rubin just one of those guys. You know, he's just played at such a high level for so long. He's just got it, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I just don't think it's just not a thing for me. If he takes 4, 6, 8 months off, it doesn't matter. He's going to come out and he's going to win. He's just going to win.
What impressed me with Jay Rubin the most was any bag. You know, a lot of players complain about you could put any bag in his hand. Different brands, you put suede, you put old school, let's say like Pro Advantage carbon, anything. Any bag, that dude could compete.
Yep.
I saw him throw chicken wings one time, Jeff. In the hole.
Just fired him in.
27 feet.
60 in a row. And then ate him afterwards.
Some bologna mixed in there. I was like, this guy.
Actually, we might have done that in Vegas one time. Don't tell anybody. Did we do that, Jay, in Vegas? The night started at the bar, remember? I don't know after that. Good guy.
5 spot for Matt Guy. That'll take us to the media timeouts with Matt Guy up 14.
And we've got a media timeout. Matt Guy with a big lead here early over Jeff Reynolds for the senior title here at Signature number 1. Back for the conclusion of the seniors title championship matchup right after this.
Strength, style, simplicity, no fluff. Just real beard care that delivers. Step 1, wash and tame. Keratin strengthens, cleanses, and conditions. Step 2, beard oil. Jojoba hydrates. Soy protein strengthens. Instant upgrade. Finish strong with beard balm. Olive oil fights frizz. Beeswax locks it in. Sharp, controlled, unstoppable. Whether you're a rookie or a pro, Beard Guys has your back. Unleash your beast.
1, a cashew, cocoa flavored. 2, a hazelnut, espresso flavored. It's not math, it's flavor harmony. 2 of the nuts, and 2 of the flavor.
Out here, there are no half measures. Doing it right is Plan A and Plan B. You need equipment that's up to the challenge. All day, all conditions, all year round.
Matt Guy on the left, Jeff Reynolds on the right. Our seniors championship here for Signature number 1 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, as soon as this one concludes, we're going to go right back to our pro singles final. Mark Richards against Jacob Trzinski. Again, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Happy New Year, everybody. With Anthony Ione, I'm Jeff McCarriger. Our thanks to Jake Brannon, Michelle Thompson earlier today. getting us through all the qualifying. And, of course, Corey Russell hasn't had a break at all. He had to go through all the qualifying, the draft. Great job on the draft, Corey. Great job to Trey and Jake on the draft. Looked awesome. And one more day left. We'll do it all again tomorrow with doubles.
Yeah, question in the chat about Matt Guy switching bag companies. Yeah, with Alien Cornhole now coming off of Fire. Fire's no longer one of the bags offered up as sponsorships. You know what surprises me the most, Jeff, is that Jeff Reynolds has never switched his bag company. I mean, he's had the same sponsor from the beginning. That's pretty wild.
Makes it 19-3.
Well, Brotherhood Cornhole, one of the big sponsors here of our broadcasts and live streams here this weekend. So shout out to Brotherhood. Got some of their bags sitting right here in front of us. I don't know, this Guardian XR, I've been kind of playing with this all weekend. This feels good.
Yeah, that bag is money.
I really like this bag.
This one's new. This Sentry?
Yeah.
At least for me, I haven't thrown the Sentry yet.
19-3, Matt Guy just a couple of points away from a seniors title here in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, and for those kind of new to the sport of cornhole, when you get to the senior division, it's a much different type of play than what we've already seen. Like from JT with all those lift bags and Sammy Soto's rolls and those block bags. You're not going to get that with the senior division. These guys keep the board pretty clean, meaning they're running everything to the hole, and they're going to be going to air mails if anything is obstructing. Not really into the blocks and rolls. Definitely takes like a wrist action that causes problems for the older guys. That hurts. I can't do that.
19-3.
It's like a curveball, you know. You really got to snap that wrist a little bit, and there's just a certain age where that things just don't snap like they used to.
All right. Enough old guy talk. Can somebody get Anthony out of here, please?
Get him out of here.
Security. I mean, Matt's only, what, 54 years old? Like 55 maybe at the most?
Yeah.
Jeff Reynolds, same. I think Jeff's 55.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're haven't been in the senior division.
Guys are
for
young.
that long. Yeah.
You kidding me? These are two fun guys to talk to, though. That's one of the great things about this sport. Just the accessibility of the players. Just being able to talk to Jeff today and hear his story about his fall and his recovery and everything. Such a nice guy. And, of course, man, I've had a lot of laughs and great memories with Matt Guy over the years as well. Just two great players in the sport.
You know, Matt Guy was, I would say, he was the first player that we'd ever seen consistently throw 11s. And then the pro division caught up. Again, he's a bag runner. He's not looking to block or congest. But we were so amazed by how Matt Guy could run bags and peak 11s. And now you'll look in a tournament, you'll have 30 or 40 games in the tournament that were 11 plus.
Yeah.
19-3, Matt Guy.
Hey, guys. I don't know how many ACL staff members we have here, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of people to put one of these big events on. So congrats to Stacy Moore, the commissioner, and everybody. Great job organizing these events. Months and months and months.
We have a block. We're going to get a full step out here. That's a shot that Matt Guy was perfecting last year. That's that slick side step. He's a little right on his mark, but okay. That's going to turn this into an airmail battle. Jeff Reynolds definitely going up.
Taps one in. Well, got to be careful here. It can come to an end here for Jeff Reynolds. Floats that one in behind Guy's bag. Again, Jeff's got one off the back of the board. Sneaks that one in. And that one hops off the back of the board. That brings this game to an end. Matt Guy wins the senior title here in Myrtle Beach. Pretty dominant performance.
As expected from Matt Guy. You know, the GOAT, as we opened up with.
Fourth all-time winningest player in ACL history. Gets a senior title here in Myrtle Beach. All right, we are back with our pro singles final. Mark Richards and Jacob Trzinski when we come back right after this. Well, those are the boards where all the qualifying action took place earlier today. Hours, thousands of bags being thrown, and from over 200 of the top pros from across the country, we are all the way down to our final two, and there they are. Mark Richards on the left, Jacob Trzinski on the right for our Pro Singles Championship here in the first major of the 2026 season. Signature number one. What a matchup. And you predicted this. We talked about this in the open. We said, hey, if anyone can do it and make a run And face Mark Richards, maybe knock him off. You thought maybe JT could. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, there's no doubt Sammy Soto could have got it done too, but man, we were just talking about how hot JT was coming out of bracket play. Again, he had the highest PPR in the entire field with a 10.94.
Right.
But I'd like to note, Jeff, if you look at JT's bags, he has now switched to the blue bags he was playing with in bracket play. We got Mark Richards coming in with the whites. He can now move to the darker blue bag. These are the bags he absolutely cooked up with in bracket.
Almost an 11 PPR today. And again, the competition that he played, ridiculous. I mean, just to get here had to beat Jamie Graham and Ethan Walker, who were red hot today. Incredible. And a wash to get us going here in the championship. Yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. You know, other than Ethan Walker, who had a great run, I mean, no surprises, right? These two are standing here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ethan was off to such a hot start, but man, these two were just good all day long.
And let's not forget, we got Mark Richards coming off of that sweep, so he is the reigning singles champ, but also pulled down doubles at the last Open. He's basically the target. Every time we come into these events, it's like Mark Richards going to be the favorite. And I would have to say that's typically because Jamie Graham isn't as well traveled, right? He doesn't travel as much. Now, when you put Jamie Graham and Mark Richards in the same field, it's, you typically want to see those guys end up going head to head. You hate to see, them kind of drop out, because the match you get out of a Jamie Graham versus Mark Richards is insane, and you've got that ACL titles race kind of on the line at the same time. But I saw in the chat a little bit earlier someone saying, what happened to Jamie Graham? Let me tell you, he was throwing fire all day.
Yes.
He was actually badly under the weather. Very, very sick. I talked to him after the match, and he said, I'm at home, or I'm in the hotel room, I'm in bed, I'm dead, I'm done. Like, I am just gassed. So hopefully he can recover a little bit coming in tomorrow in doubles with JT and put together some type of a run. But it's actually unbelievable he made the run he did so sick.
Well, interesting, and I know it was just round 2 moments ago, but anytime I feel like we are broadcasting a match with Mark Richards, we talk about what? You cannot have unforced errors, and you have to take advantage of early situations. And just moments ago, JT was able to do that, took advantage of an early little miss by Mark Richards to get 2, but now JT here has to collect and does. So really 2 clutch moments here early, just in the first 3 rounds.
I can already see a speed difference coming in with these blue bags. Those white bags were just a notch slower. And talking to JT earlier, he said, I have a white set, I have a blue set. I favor the blue set. But if I have to throw the whites, I'm pretty good with them, but they're a little bit slower. And that's exactly how it played out. I think that he's a better player coming into the final with these blue bags in hand.
Mark Richards, again, number 1 on the ACL all-time wins list, now with 32. I mean, for years we were talking about Matt Guy, right? I mean, he was up there in the teens, and then he got to 20 and kind of stalled at 20, but still at 20 was the all-time wins leader in the ACL. Jamie was kind of creeping up on him, and all of a sudden, a guy by the name of Mark Richards enters the sport 5 years ago and starts this tear of wins. And he'll get a couple of points here to tie it at 2. And now Mark, in just 5 years, 32 titles. Won 10 last year, 3 already this season. A 10-time major champion.
Jacob Trzinski pulling down an ACL title for himself. That was back at Open number 3. The singles champ coming out of that one.
right, clean so far through the first 2 bags. Jacob Trzinski, just 23 years old from Massachusetts. 5th-year ACL pro. He has 7 career titles, and he's a 3-time major champion on the doubles side.
Yeah, he's one of those players that's always had a legit partner. Tony Smith for a while, now partnered up with Jamie Graham. He had a little run with Tanner Halbert in one of those years, so he's a guy that's just, and that goes to say a lot about Jacob Trzinski. When you have these A-level players partnering up with you, that's saying, hey, this kid is really good and consistently pulling down A-level players.
Good point, yep. Well, just to kind of close the door on that thought, you know, tonight, obviously, there's a lot on the line for JT right now. And as much as he loves all those major doubles championships, and he's had a lot of doubles success. He did have a singles open title earlier this year, but to win his first ever major singles title tonight,
the kid is due.
Yeah,
the kid is due.
Yeah, he wants it bad. He wants this one bad. All right, another opportunity here. Great look at JT as he fires that last bag. Clips Mark's bag a bit. Sinks it. And a 4-2 lead. So again, taking advantage of some of these early moments. That's what you have to do, because Mark just does not make many mistakes at all. Such a good player, so disciplined. Just elite level player.
Let's keep an eye on Mark Richards' game as it progresses, because he's one of those players that can switch styles instantly. He might start off running, but if he feels like he has a better shot at beating JT with a block bag, he can implement that and kind of keep moving easily. He's got every shot in the bag. He's going to be able to cut, roll. He has a ridiculous airmail. Now moving back to his airmail as kind of his go-to shot. But he went a whole year of throwing the roll bag, kind of his primary shot, and it's coming into play this year because now it's well developed.
Yeah. JT gets deflected off to the left, so opportunity here for Richards. And Mark right down the middle. So he'll get 2 to tie this game at 4. Quick, really good comment in the chat. Again, thanks for all your comments, chat. Truly appreciate it. We got to kind of pick and choose some comments, but this is a good one and a great question for you. I know in basketball, sometimes it's tougher to guard a left-hander, you know, because you're just not used to guarding, you know, that strong hand going to the left. Is it tougher to block against left-handed throwers?
No, I think just as a player, you have to keep reminding yourself that your opponent is left-handed, because where you position your blocks might move. So I think that would be the difficulty in that, you know, maybe you forget for a second, be like, oh man, I needed that block to be a little bit more to the left. And honestly, Jeff, I think we're really close to seeing our first pros throwing with both hands.
I heard you talking about that the other day, yeah.
I see a lot of pros now like warming up or practicing or just having fun games throwing with their opposite hand, and they're getting good. I look at like the Gore boys. Their left-handed throw is better than most people's, you know, dominant hand throw. So I think we're close to seeing someone actually pull out an opposite hand throw.
Round 9. This is going to be a marathon. Hey, Michael Gonzalez, our official. Shout out, by the way, to Michael Gonzalez, too, and his officiating crew. They've done a great job. It's tough, right? As soon as you make a call, you're a public enemy number 1, right? But what has been good is because there's so many cameras now, anytime there's a call, we obviously all go back and look at it. They've done a great job this weekend.
Yeah, the red shirts aren't making friends around here.
No.
We saw a little bit earlier, JT called on a foot foul on a step out coming out of bracket play.
Went outside the box and ahead of the line. For those who don't know, that red line in front of the players right there that JT just stepped up to, that red line is extended to infinity on both sides. So even if you step out of the box to the right or left, you still cannot follow through and cross that red line extended, and that's what he did. And again, just because of the video, you could easily see it. There it is. It's a good look at it. So that red line extends outside the box. Ooh, and that one just goes backside of the hole. So Richards will get 2 more again to take the lead.
That's 2 unforced errors in 1 round. Now, Mark Richards kind of gave it back a little bit with that bag deep. But a 4th bag miss, rare, especially when you've got a red-hot JT like today. With the blue bags. He's been cooking with those blue bags.
All right, Mark's got one short left, so again, we'll see if JT can take advantage and maybe get a tie here in this round, but a lot of work to do, obviously. First bags. Second bag for Richards. Trying to see if he could turn it. He's got 2 bags left. Who knows? He might bring this back in play. Do you try and clip it at all here, Anthony? Maybe went for that corner a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you let this one go.
Yeah.
And the owner of AAR is letting Mark Richards know that he made a mistake out there in the stands. He's quick to remind people. JT successful there on bag 4. He needed to clean up that mistake in the previous round.
You know, some people like it, some people don't. I love Brad's energy. You know, it's great. I do love it.
Yeah, a question from the chat about holding all 4 bags versus having them on the board. We've actually seen this transition more to bags on the board, holding only the bag that you throw. If you go back, 5-6 years ago when I was a pro back in 19, I actually did a count. I went through the entire pro field and counted who holds their bags and who holds them on the board or keeps them on the board. Overwhelmingly, everybody held all 4 bags.
Is that right?
I think with COVID hitting, forcing you to step out of the box on every throw, leaving your bags on the board, and with the increase in mindset and pace, players are preferring to leave everything on the board because you have the same situation every time, right? You hold a bag, you throw a bag. When you hold all 4 bags, you're kind of losing one every time, right? So when you finally get down to your last bag, you don't have that 3 pounds that you're holding in your non-throwing hand.
Right.
So it's not as consistent. He was successful on that step out a little bit early to collect it and get that there. Mark Richards on bag 4 to make him pay, and he's going to get 2.
So Mark Richards will take a 2-point lead. Well, going back to what we were talking about, can you heckle in cornhole? I guess, Anthony, I'll let you kind of take this one. I don't think there are any rules against it. I think it's kind of an etiquette thing that you don't heckle when someone's in their backswing. But other than that, I don't think there's really any rules, against it.
Yeah,
I think it's just more of a, personal etiquette thing. And
yeah, I've seen it so much compared to, free throws in basketball. You got people behind the board with signs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff to get you to miss a free throw.
Yep.
But, yeah, I'm sure there's a line that, you don't want to cross. And
well, when you talk to professional athletes at an elite level, for many of them, like dealing with the situation you're talking about, where you have 5,000 fans behind the basket you're shooting at, it blurs out for the top athletes. It totally blurs out.
For sure. Another mistake there from JT, and it's Mark Richards that has the easier line. He's lefty, coming around the left side. JT's line is pretty messed up here. He's going to be looking to roll in and give up 2, leave that white bag on the rim.
Comes up short. 4 points. I think is this the first time we've had more than 2? I think it's been 2-2-2, right? The whole way.
Right, yeah.
So biggest plus round of the match so far. So Mark Richards now with a 6-point lead. We've got a media timeout. It's our singles final here in Myrtle Beach. Back with more right after this.
Here's a pistachio, peppercorn flavor. Here's a cashew, Parmesan flavor. Living together in flavor harmony. To all the nuts, and to all the flavors.
Nice. Man, Miller's Ale House really has everything we need. Good food, good beer, plus every sport on TV.
Every sport.
Every single sport you can imagine.
Whoa! Now we're talking. Ladies.
They're right. All the sports and great food at Miller's Ale House, where the fans go.
This is Brotherhood Cornhole, where quality meets community. Born from grit built in America. Every pro-grade bag, board, and piece of apparel is crafted with pride, durability, and precision. Built for consistency, to dominate the boards, and always feel the best. Brotherhood Cornhole stands for players who show up with purpose. From backyard throwdowns to ACL tournaments, united by respect, loyalty, and that grind to be better. Gear up with Brotherhood Cornhole and join the movement.
Great look inside the Sports Center complex here in Myrtle Beach. And there is the broadcast court that everyone seeks to get to here in these signature events. This is what defines careers, winning these major titles, these signature events. It's our first of the 2026 calendar, and it's come down to these two. After the media timeout, Mark Richards with a 6-point lead. Again, Mark with 32 titles all time, number one. JT with 7. Now we'll see what happens with that bag there. See if Trzinski can maybe get a couple back here. Mark's last bag, will it come back? No, barely moved. And Trzinski trying to sneak it in, can't do it. So early in the first 3 rounds, we saw him take advantage of those moments. And this time he lets one slip away.
Yeah, these are not the kind of mistakes we were seeing out of JT in bracket play, but here it is. There's just 2 points right there in his hand, and he can't go get them.
Drives his fist into his hand.
Just kind of doing a PPR check right here in the middle part of this match, 12-6. Mark Richards throwing an 11-08. That's what's tough. Jacob Trzinski throwing a 10-6-2 and losing by 6.
Well, you know, we've talked about a lot of the players' journeys to get here. I don't think we've talked much about Mark's run. What do you think of Mark's run today? I know he beat Gabe Clausen, beat Cash. Cash made a decent run. Matt Guy, played Matt Guy earlier. What do you think of his run today?
He definitely had a much easier path through the bracket. Let's mention he's one of the few that got a bye through that first round.
Okay.
But he didn't really have his first tough match until game 4. And again, he ran into a Matt Guy who's, you know, suffering with some medical stuff. He won that one 21-4. But it was truly when he ran into Cash, we were like, all right, here's going to be the first test for Mark Richards.
Right.
And Cash gave him some resistance. Cash put up 16 points on him. And then we talk about how tough Gabe Clausen is. We think he's literally playing as like he's my number 3 player in the pro division right now on my top 10 list. But man, Mark Richards ran through him, only giving up 7 points. He only allowed Clausen 7.
Well, so if you're saying Gabe Clausen, Matt Guy, and Cash Chambliss is an easy run, that just shows you the gauntlet that everyone else had to go through.
Yeah, that's like JT's a good example. He had 6 matches of that where Mark Richards had to get through 3 of that. But yeah, that by no means is that easy.
Well, for those of you just tuning in, our final 4 here in the singles was Ryan Windsor and Mark in our first semifinal, Sammy Soto and Jacob Trzinski in the second semifinal. Mark won fairly easily over Ryan Windsor. It was 15-2. Ryan did make a little bit of a run to make it 15-8, and then Mark put him away quickly after that. And Jacob Trzinski, actually, if I remember right, came from behind against Sammy. Sammy had a couple leads in that one. And JT came from behind to win that one. And also, for those of you maybe just tuning in, we had our senior title matchup tonight. So that was won by Matt Guy. So Matt did not make it to the Final Four on the pro singles side, but did win the senior title.
Same situation where JT didn't get his 2 points last time. Mark Richards on bag one out to the left. Here's JT in another position to get 2. And this is where Mark Richards is so good at placing bags. He blocks on bag 2, back blocks on 3. He's forcing complex shots out of JT here. And bam, he's going to hit his airmail.
Final bag for Richards. Oh, man, just sneaks that one in. So same spot here for JT. Last bag on the way. Hits it again. Trying to clip that bag. It didn't move, but still got the one in his hand through the hole. He'll get a couple of points to make it 12-8.
Here's that replay. Here's what's crazy is he actually hammers that front bag. You'll see it lift. Oh, that was the first one. But to him, he wasn't happy. He was like, why didn't I drag that bag?
Yeah. You're right. He clipped it. He hit it pretty good. And now stops this one right in front of the hole. Level 1 block, so something for Mark to look at here early. And Richards just goes right through it, replaces it.
I got to say, if I'm JT, I am not wanting to lay any level 1 blocks right now on Mark Richards. But, again, he's throwing an 11.08. That's what makes Mark Richards so hard. If you want to run bags, he's going to hit you with an 11.08. If you want to block, he's going to hit you with an elite level roll and a cut. So it's so hard. And bag positioning. That was dirty.
Oh, that was terrific. Well executed by Trzinski. And Mark with the answer. So on that side-by-side, both bags on opposite side from where they're throwing, they're both able to collect. Ah, nice round. Well played.
Yeah, the precision of that is what made that round so impressive. Like you were saying, they were having to reach across board. Here's JT. He's throwing from the left side, reaching to the right.
I love those. I love those grab bags. I think that's still one of my favorite bags. I mean, it literally is like it just grabs it, sticks to it, and brings it down.
And the key to that is having enough speed to hit the back of the hole, because the back of the hole is like your backboard. So if you can kind of get everything jammed up in the back of the hole, then it all comes back for you on the slope.
Funny chat. It's a long TV timeout. I was waiting for the halftime show. Good stuff. We'll see if we can get some entertainment next time. Corey saying Beyonce. Yeah, we'll see if we can get her.
That should be easy.
Yeah, I'm sure she want to do it. (12-8). JT hanging in there, round 19.
Well, when you see Mark Richards throwing an 11.08, you think there's no more room to go up. Nah, he does. He went up a couple more thousands with an 11.11 over 18 rounds. That's actually insane. Like, how?
All right, keep your eye on that bag here. Second bag for Mark.
See the bag position? So he's got a strategy on this one.
Now JT able to go through it. Oh, 2 off to the right. Let's see what happens here.
He did not want that. The best shot here is for JT to sit front of the hole, kind of wedge everything up on the left.
Oh, sneaks it in. Big shot here now for Mark. In trouble for the first time. And he's able to clip one in, but he's going to give up 4. So Jacob Trzinski hanging in there, ties it at 12.
That's precision, my man. It even it flopped in the position where we call it a coin slot, but it kind of flipped on its edge and work down that little space on the left side.
Round 20.
Was talking to Colby Shearer today, and I was like, you know, he's partners with Sammy Soto. I said, hey, you've had the opportunity to stand across the boards from him over a couple tournaments. You know his game now. What are his strengths? And he was like, he's so good on his airmails. He'll actually tilt his airmail a certain way so that it hits the hole on the angle where it basically makes the bag smaller. So instead of laying in a flat square, he'll flip it up on edge so that you have more of a slot. He can do that on airmails. I was like, that's crazy.
Yes. Agreed. Clean round there. Well, we've talked about media timeouts and how oftentimes we may see a swing either way. And we've seen it again, small one, but it was 12-6 at the media timeout. So Trzinski on a little 6-0 run at the moment.
And if we remember, he went into that break giving up a 4. He missed a couple bags out to the right. So to come back from the break and rally back, a huge move for Trzinski.
Leaks off to the left.
That's going to be tough, but here's what's going to help him. You see the corner in the hole? When you rotate, when you hit the bag and it rotates, that corner hangs up and allows you to collect. Ah, too left, Jeff.
All right, obviously trying to get this bag in. A little 2-bag collect, and there it goes. Mark a chance at 2. And to retake the lead, got it.
Mark Richards, 2, retakes the lead, 14-12. Heading into round number 22.
Mark is just so steady, right? So mentally disciplined.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all the pieces of the game for me, obviously you have the skill and the ability to shape all the shots. Then you have the mental side. I mean, the guy has that down completely. You can see his pacing. He goes through the same routine every time. And then in doubles, I would say he's one of the best doubles partners out there. Just the way that he engages his partner on the other side, the way he communicates. He's got every piece of this game to be great.
Last bag for Richards. Tried to touch it, grab it, bring it in. Opens the door for JT to tie this one up at 14, and he answers with 2. Tied at 14. Mark once told me, he said, you know, in my opinion, he said, the judge of a match, the judge of a round, the judge of a champion is how you mentally deal with adversity. And so he's just always tried to remember that, even in cornhole. It's not what you do when you have a lead. It's what happens when you got a bad round. And he said he watches and scouts other players to see how they react when they miss, how they go through adversity. I mean, even just that level of thinking right there.
That's crazy.
Just sets you apart, right? Just being aware of it. Ooh, nice bag by JT. Kind of pushed Richards' bag to the right a little bit. Just a tiny little bully shot there.
And as a lefty, it's harder for him to collect. If you think about it, he's over the board with his arm, bags out to the right. And that little bully could pay off here for JT with 2 more points and the lead.
Sits right in front. Third bag for Mark. The bag on the right's gone. Doors open for Trzinski. He got it. Looking to take the lead. And he will by 2. So Trzinski back the other way. 16-14. And now, all of a sudden, it just brings to mind the fact that we talked about this earlier. Of all the wins and all the titles that Trzinski's had in his early career, this would be his first major singles title. He's 5 points away.
Yeah, what I liked about Mark Richards in that matchup, or that round, we talked about the mental game. When he missed that shot, he shook his head and kind of accepted the fact that he was giving up 2 instead of, you know, throwing his hands up, walking outside of the box. He said, I'm going to accept that 2. I think that put him in better position on bag 4 to make sure that that thing went in, accepting the miss.
Final bags here of round 24. This one to keep it a 2-point game. Yeah, no problem.
And a double for bagger wash. We stay 16-14. Trzinski.
I almost feel like when you're in this position against Mark Richards is when you have to buckle down even more, right? I mean, you just have to be perfect.
Yeah, round 25 for Mark Richards, this is barely halfway through. I mean, he's in for the long haul.
Yeah, he's made for 40 and 50 round games. He just is. He's a machine. I think you just have to know in your mind, all right, you know, just like in tennis, like you know when you play a guy like certain players, it's going to be a 5-set match, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter you're on 16. Rocking the baby and fires it in. Mark floats that one in. And yeah, this one's going to get real now.
It's kind of a weird game for me a little bit. I mean, we haven't had any, everything just seems kind of rhythmic. I mean, we haven't had that big airmail drag or some crazy push. It just kind of seems like it's being played so by the book. You know, it's almost like maybe the Spurs, you know, back in the day when, you know, they were so kind of, you know, fundamental that it almost like, is this boring? I can't tell. Or are you so impressed by the fundamentals of the game?
Yes. I would say I'm the latter when it comes to this. Super impressed. I mean, best of the best right now. Nice shot by Mark. Shovels that one in.
And another double.
So a wash in round 26.
Trzinski.
I feel like he's been really consistent pretty much the whole match with that. Getting around those blocks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, even early in the match when it was more like a level 1.5 to 2. Remember early on?
Yep.
He's able to hit those kind of long cuts. That one shouldn't be a problem for Mark. We'll see what happens here on bag 3. And the left-hander collects it easily. Just drops in on the right side. Every bag critical, round 27.
Have we had an airmail yet? I can't even remember.
Yeah, didn't JT have a couple that he hit?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did have those 2 airmail.
Yep.
Yeah, these boys are using angles and boxes and cuts so well in positionals. I haven't really fired a bunch of airmails.
I mean, will we see? I guess this is just what we're going to see, right? Unless there's a mistake, no one's going to lay a block, right?
Yeah, I think this is Mark Richards just driving fundamentals into the game. You know, it's so by the book.
I feel like there's certain players that we watch where you know at some point they're going to throw a block. This one, I'm not sure. They might just keep going back and forth like this. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, that one just sneaks in on the left.
Double 4-bagger wash. 16.
Yeah, I mean, they're Let's let this score register, and I'll throw some PPRs at you, but they've definitely been climbing. I wouldn't be surprised if they're both sitting well into the 11s. Looks like Mark Richards at an 11.14 and Jacob Trzinski at an 11.21. Jeez, 71% four-baggers.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Oh, all right. A little bit off to the left. He'll have some work to do here. He's got 2 bags left, though.
Yeah, he's been collecting that all day. Again, I was able to follow him in bracket play, and he was pretty consistent at grabbing this bag.
There you go, right on cue. Well said, Professor.
And he does that, like I was saying a little bit earlier, he does not throw a reverse cut, so he's having to position it even better. So he doesn't have left to right movement to grab. He does it off of a straight line.
Mark bangs that one off the back and in.
Double four-bagger watch. Give it up for these guys.
Here it is again. Like you said, he's been doing this a lot. Boom. Got it.
Jeff, that is 6 rounds of four-baggers, which is 24 in a row at least for each guy.
Well, that's nothing compared to, was it Cash Chamness today? I was listening to Jake and Mish. Didn't Cash make some run where he hit like 60 bags in a row or something crazy like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Corey, do you remember what that number was? Yeah, he was in the 60s.
We're going to end this streak right here. That's not going to be grabbable for JT, and not something you want to chase at 16-14.
To tie it up. Hits that slide shot, sneaks it in on the front side. Ties us at 16.
That's going to end JT's 8 four-bagger streak in a row. And end the 6 double four-bagger streak.
Boy, and after all the qualifying, hours of qualifying, thousands of bags, we're basically down to just a game to 5.
Same shot as last time, right, Jeff? We should see that little step out. That's a collect off the left without reversing.
Got a good piece of it.
Someone in the chat helping us out a little bit saying Cash threw 64 in a row.
Clean round, stays tied at 16.
I remember maybe 3 years back. You remember Caleb Batson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do remember that,
Caleb Batson hitting 72 in a row.
Yep. Boy, to me, Caleb, when he burst on the scene, and while he was throwing, that was one of the best bags I saw back 3-4 years ago.
He was my first, we were pros at the same time, and he was the first consistent roll bagger for me where I was like, this is my favorite player to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm a pro watching another pro because I was just so impressed at what he could do.
Yeah, he was fun to watch. Oh, Richards leaves that one short. And Trzinski way off to the right. So intentional or not intentional?
That's what I'm saying. Mark Richards has the ability to change things on a dime, and that's going to get him 2 points if he can push through this. A mistake.
Wow. So now JT with a chance maybe to get a point. Oh,
he doesn't. He's got slick side in the hand. He wants to clean this up.
Round 32 getting interesting.
That tells me he's not trusting that lift bag that he was so good at earlier in the game. Slick side down. I don't think you chase that, Jeff. Just run a bag and cross your fingers. You get a little drip. Oh, it doesn't go.
Can't do it. So Mark throws one off the back. It looked like JT was maybe going to be able to steal a point, but Instead, it's going to go back the other way. So Mark now with a 1-point lead.
There he is again with that deep block, and JT able to handle this one a little bit better.
Second bag. Knocks Marks in. A lot of action here to hanging on the edge for JT, and Mark wants to take a look at it.
This is actually a good position for JT. I like the position he put him in. Now it forces Mark to make a decision. Do I want to push through and clean this up, or do I want to back block? And we know how good JT's airmail is. That means if he back blocks, we might be in position for a double drag bag airmail here.
How much was this just a mental reset, too, for Mark? I mean, he just kind of walked down, took a look at it, walked back. Oh, wow. Just his execution.
Do we get the airmail now, or does he back it?
Oh, he's able to get two.
Even better, leaving a blocker, keeping hole control.
All right. What do you think here? Timeout. What are you thinking, Anthony?
I'm thinking you got the winning bag in your hand, an airmail drag to get 4. Or excuse me, that would put him on 20. It's Mark Richards sitting at 17. Now, if you go up, so if you go off the back, you're giving up 1. I don't hate the airmail drag right now.
Really? Over a roll to take a couple and just retake the lead?
Only because it's JT, man. His airmail has been fire all day.
It was a great look at it.
I don't think you get the roll collect right now.
No, I don't even mean for the collect. Just a roll, go in, take 2. All right, we'll see what his decision is. Oh, it just lands it right in the pile.
That was an airmail that he didn't really commit on. He kind of sissied out on it. He's even looking at Mark going, what the heck was that? Here's the roll on bag 3, which played out nicely, gave him hole control. I love the airmail on bag 4, but he just never really committed to it. I think mid-throw, he's like, no, never mind.
So Mark maintains his 1-point lead as that one flops a bit off to the left. Round 34, no surprise at all. Here in our Pro Singles Championship. First major championship of the season.
Got to be careful here if you're a JT. If you're chasing that bag out to the left, so many times we see you leaving 2 bags on the left. And that's an opportunity to win for Mark Richards. We're going to have a timeout here for Mark Richards. He used up that shot clock because he wanted to reset. Got to be good.
Yeah, he's got to make something happen here. It gets them both to drop. Grabs it, brings them both in for the collect, and gets the wash to keep it a 1-point game.
There's a bit of excitement. That's what I was talking about, Jeff. There's a little danger chasing left, and man, did those almost hang up on there for him. And here, it just kind of stopped. It kind of hit the brakes for a second, but he gets the double drip. That was so close to 2 bags wedging up on the left. That's the excitement I've been looking for. Getting down to the wire. A chance to get 2 for JT. He's looking to rotate that bag a little bit. Just make a little contact coming through.
Just barely touched it. Second bag for Mark. And says, you're not going to get another opportunity. Final bags of round number 35. Oh, and that one just skids past the hole. So Mark Richards now sitting on 19.
16, round 36.
And Trzinski cannot afford another miss. Otherwise, his hopes of his first major singles title will come to an end.
Here we go. We got some action. Now we have something to work with here. A little step out half box. Looking to push everything to the hole.
Good
that was
shot.
actually a beautiful roll. So he used the V. If you see how the bags are shaped, he gives them a little ramp there to work with on the roll. Players will look for that formation to assist the roll. It keeps them center.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
shark fin action.
Oh boy, you know JT is tempted by the bar of soap, but you're pushing 4 bags. Because everything's kind of bunched up, you got to push your 2 blues, the white out to the left, and toss the bar of soap bag. I mean, you got to come in laser hot. I don't know if I like that.
All right, so Mark has 1 that's dropped, 2 on the board. He has 1 left to throw.
If it was for the win, maybe, but you're down 5. He's stepping back here. Is he coming into this hot? He is. Look, he's winding up for something.
Yeah, comes in low and hard at it.
He was successful on the bar of soap, a little left on his mark. I like that he pinned. He kind of bar of soaped 2 bags, and he has 1 pinned.
Last bag for Richards.
Oh, wait a second.
And look at this.
Wait a second.
He gets deflected off to the right. Trzinski's shot is in, but it does draw one of Mark's bags in as well. Wow, that could have put Trzinski just 1 point away. Instead, he'll get 2. So 19-18.
You got to respect the guts there from JT. I mean, that was a gutsy shot. That was, I'm alive or dead. It worked into his favor. I actually thought because his bag was kind of pinning Mark Richards, he was going to get 4 out of that.
Yeah. One-point game, round 37. And Trzinski with first bag. Gets that one to drop.
Again, looking to contact that one coming through. We saw the same setup the other 2 rounds ago for Mark Richards.
He's got to do it right here.
There he goes.
Yep.
Now he's touching in the side-by-side.
Mark didn't give him a second opportunity last time in this situation.
Oh, that's placed like a puzzle piece. Look at it sitting right in there. You can't be off the back if you're Mark Richards, so a long airmail puts him in position for a loss. He's got a decision to make here.
Richards, number 3.
Oh, Anthony, that's such a good point.
The board showing 7-2. Trzinski with 2 bags in the hole. He's in really good position. Here's what would kill Mark Richards. If he rolls and stacks and covers the hole, he's preventing any scoring opportunity. Oh my gosh, I think you got to shoot it if you're Mark Richards. I don't hate coming through slick side to clean up, but that formation just makes me fear some type of a wedge. I'm going to say attack the left side on a slick side, Jeff, just to break up that left side.
Third bag for Mark, floats it in behind.
Interesting choice. I mean, if JT goes on, Mark Richards has to get a bag in the hole. Board showing 7-3.
Yeah, it looked like JT's trying to go behind. He does. So now what do you want?
Got to airmail it, and something's got to go.
goes way up top, and he's able to chunk 2 in. The one in his hand goes off, but he's still going to stay alive. So he went off, but it just puts Trzinski at 19. Oh my goodness.
There was a deep breath in the room. Everybody doing math on what just happened.
Yeah. Tied at 19 as we approach 40 rounds here in the championship. The first pro singles signature title of the year.
I just want a good shot for the win. You know, that loose bag out to the left or right to lose just sounds boring. Give me something. Give me an airmail, a tough push.
Now clean so far. Mark's third bag.
Oof, that one
wow.
Barely got over the front of the board.
Last bag for JT. Gets around it like he's done all night. Richards' final bag. He gets them both in. Wow. Mark Richards. Clutch shot to stay alive.
Come on, Jeff. That is a level 2 push on the line, and that's that lift bag that's been working for JT all night. Look at the celebration. Mark Richards got to come behind clutch, just like you said.
Oh, my goodness. Now we got to do it again, round 39. Tied at 19. Mark Richards looking for his 33rd career title. For Jacob Trzinski, it would be his first ever major singles title and his 8th career title. Last bags. Will we see round number 40? Gotta be in. And it is. Oh my gosh, Anthony, when you get down to these situations, you kidding me with this? How do you do this?
This is what we wanted, though. We're talking 19-19 going into round 40 to take down signature number 1 of the 2026 season. I mean, you're coming out hot at the beginning. That's going to seed you really well going into the next signatures and really could set the pace for the rest of the season.
Round 40. Oh, a little short left. So Mark with some work to do. He's got 3 bags left, though. Oh, now JT gives it back, and look out here.
Mark Richards is going to go try and get this for the win.
Ooh, touched it, Anthony. Just touched it. JT's is gone. Mark's got 2 bags to bring that back in for the win. This will tell us a lot right here. Bag 3 on the way.
Needed more speed. He needed to kind of push that corner up to the backside of the hole. It is
JT
grabbable.
helped him a little bit.
No step out.
This could be for the win. And he can't do it. Hits it. That bag is just not moving.
Oh! He lifted that corner, Jeff.
It's a wash. Oh, my gosh. Corey, the PPRs, what are we at now? Through 40 rounds. 10-9-5 for both players. Boy, and this is becoming an epic showdown for a national title. Major victory. Again, these are defining moments for these players. They all said open wins are great, national wins are just different. Especially when it's a singles title. And again, it's got to be in. And it is. No problem for Mark Richards. Making sure the laces are tight.
JT in trouble on bag one. Let's keep an eye on that one. There are 2 feet in the water.
Mark a little bit left, but obviously in a much better position right there in front. JT taps him in. So yeah, Trzinski with work to do here in round 42.
Oh, that is so good. He covered it. Got to be good.
His third bag. Oh, wow. They plug slightly.
Oh, he's in trouble, Jeff. If Mark Richards rolls up on top of that hole, that's going to be game. I don't see how you recover from that.
We'll see if they stick or not. Nope, they dropped.
Oh, he gave him room.
Yes.
There's a double clip off the left side.
Each player with a bag left. And Trzinski gets 2 in.
That's going to be tough for a lefty to reach across and grab.
At least has to be in.
Oh,
and
my!
It is. Cannot get the collect, though. It'll be another wash. Look at that. 2 just dangling on the edge. Neither go. And we will move on to round 43.
What a recovery by JT on bag 4.
But once those bags dropped, that just changed everything. Opened the window for JT.
There it is. That is a sweet block. Let's see what JT does with this.
Again, JT has to work with the bag in front, gets deflected a bit to the left.
Mark Richards got to hit it. He's going to attack it.
Oh my gosh.
We talked about how consistent he's been with grabbing this off the left side. He's going to need it here to stay alive. Slick side in the hand.
Has to do it, otherwise it's Mark's match to win. All right, here we go. A chance at the win. Final bag on the way, and it is good. Mark Richards does it again. 43 rounds, and Mark Richards begins 2026 with another major title. How about that for guts? Well deserved. Trophy in hand. Number 33 in his career. 11th major championship. What a start to 2026. Well, congratulations to Jacob Trzinski. What a run. Great performance. But Mark Richards, just too much in the end. We saw his doubles partner, Tony Smith. Nico Morales, longtime friend. Shelby, of course, his wife is there. All the players coming up, shaking hands with Mark Richards. 33 career titles, another major champion. And he takes the title here in Myrtle Beach. That will wrap things up here tonight on the singles side. We'll do it again tomorrow for the pro doubles title. But for tonight, for Corey Russell and for Anthony Io, I'm Jeff McCarriger. Mark Richards, congratulations. There's the autograph and major title number 3. Well deserved. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will talk to you again tomorrow. But for now, we say so long here from Myrtle Beach.